Mr. James M. Owens, Indiantown, Florida. Telephone 597-2446. I am in the chambers of Judge James Knott, Palm Beach. The day is Wednesday, the 28th of February, and the time is 1 o'clock. And our guest is Mr. James Owens, who kindly has come in from Indiantown to talk to us. Mr. Owens, you've been in this part of the country some time, haven't you?
Yes, sir. Yes, I came here from Lake County in Umatilla when I was a very small child.
Did you come direct to Palm Beach?
Direct to Palm Beach.
Mm-hmm.
And then from here, my father was associated with the Flagler interest.
Mm-hmm.
We were in Nassau when they built the Colonial over there, and in Miami, and then back here, and my father was permanently stationed here in Palm Beach, sort of in the capacity of I guess you'd call it a summer overseer of the hotels and the Flagler interest here.
Let's talk about Mr. Flagler for a minute, if you will. He contributed so much to the growth of this community. Do you list him? Are you among those who list him as a great benefactor?
I certainly am.
Mm-hmm. What do you think persuaded him to move the railroad down from St. Augustine?
Well, I think the beauty of the place, the desirable climate, the many advantages that were offered here at the Palm Beach location. When he came down and saw those possibilities.
Do you know how he happened to come down and see them?
No, I don't believe I know exactly what prompted him. I know he came to Jacksonville and he came on to St. Augustine, and I don't know just what prompted him to come on down here.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that he came, and I know that he rode across that lake in a rowboat and was so impressed with the natural beauty of the location where the old Ponciana used to sit that he bought it and immediately started development.
Why did he choose the lakeside first? The breakers
Well,
came later on the ocean.
Well, I don't know. Most all of the real early development in Palm Beach was on the lake. Cluett, collar and cuff people, Swift, the meat packers, all of those people, their homes were on the lake. And they did use the ocean just for a little bathhouse or just to go over on the beach once in a while. But it seemed that no one had their homes on the ocean, all on the lake.
There were quite a number of rich people's homes
Oh,
on the lake
yes.
already before Mr. Flagler came?
Well, not too many,
Mm-hmm.
but there were some. The present mayor of Palm Beach, his grandfather, Captain Dimmick, was here. Man, by the Brusfords were here. It was a good, the Laneharts were here. Good many people were here when Mr. Flagler came and opened the old Ponciana and had 3 additions put on the Ponciana.
One of them was called the McGuire edition. Why?
Well, I don't know. Mr. McGuire was associated with Mr. Flagler for many years.
How long after the Ponciana was built was it until a bridge went across the lake?
Well, the bridge went simultaneously with the building of the Ponciana.
Oh,
You see, where the present Whitehall is now
yes.
is where the bridge went across.
Mm-hmm.
That was a railroad bridge, and a footpath was all. No automobiles or anything like that could get across on the island. The train went directly across, stopped at the south entrance to the Ponciana, went straight on east to the breakers, and deposited passengers there, and then back across the lake, and went on down to Miami.
It was
Then
quite a
when-
maneuver.
Then when Mr. Flagler built Whitehall, why, the train coming right across, right next to his residence, was undesirable. So he moved the railroad tracks northward to the present location where what is now known as the Flagler Memorial Bridge. That used to be the railroad bridge. And then he would deposit passengers at the north end of the Ponciana and go on up to the breakers.
Now, I have heard it said that the building of the Ponciana, the building of the breakers, of course, brought a lot of prominent people down here in the season, and the salubrious climate encouraged them to come down and build homes of their own. Would you say that was a fair statement?
Yes, sir. I would say that the breakers and the Ponciana were the feeding ground for the permanent residents of Palm Beach. That's where they first came. Stotesbury, for instance, from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Originally, those men, Dick Croker and people like that, all came down and stayed at either the breakers or the old Ponciana, and then liked it so well, and the climate was so desirable, and there were just so many advantages to Palm Beach over any other winter resort in the world until they bought homes here and bought property here. The town was incorporated in 1911, and it's always had very strict zoning rules and regulations and types of businesses that can go into the town, and it's grown on a very stable basis.
Of course, it's just recently that it's become a 12-month resort.
That's right, that's right. It used to be the 22nd day of February was tops in Palm Beach. That was the height of the season. And from there on, she slid down.
Didn't they even take down the traffic lights in the summertime?
Well, we didn't used to have them, thank goodness. We never had traffic lights. And I tell you, one other historical spot in Palm Beach, I think, that contributed a great deal to the exclusiveness and dignity and loveliness of Palm Beach, I'll put it that way, was Ed Bradley's Beach Club.
Yes,
One of the finest men I ever knew, whose word was just better than most people's bond. And he contributed a great deal to the growth and development of Palm Beach and its beauty and loveliness. For instance, the east entrance to the Flagler Memorial Bridge. Mr. Bradley bought the property there, and used to be a garage right on the north side. He bought that property and gave it to the town. And then on the other side, the south side of the entrance, that was donated by the Flagler interest. Mr. Keenan, William R. Keenan, gave that side. So we've been very fortunate in Palm Beach, having I think some of the finest, smartest capitalists in the world come there, and it was because of their interest. I've said this many times. The very keen interest that the people that lived in Palm Beach took in the town, and the town's government, to a large degree, was responsible for Palm Beach being what it is today.
That doesn't always happen.
No, sir, but they took a definite interest. When you ran for office over in the town of Palm Beach, you were looked over mighty carefully. And there was 4 or 5 groups in Palm Beach. That was the permanent residents that lived there all the time. Then there was the winter group, winter residents, people that were residents of Florida but only came down for several months in the wintertime. Then there was Mr. Bradley's crowd around the Beach Club. Those people would all run into a huddle when election time comes. And they had either cut this one off or put that one on. And when they got through, everybody agreed, and anybody that attempted to run or be a candidate that wasn't on that ticket might as well just fold it up. It was Ed Bradley and Jack Bradley, and 2 very high-class men.
Not very much was written about their operation for
well,
obvious reasons.
I know one little story. Their father was a very fine man, too. And they came over here. They were from Ireland. And they made some money. And their father had always wanted to go back home. So they had $5,000, I think it is, the story goes. And they gave it to their father. They said, now here, Dad, you take this and go back to Ireland. You have a nice trip and enjoy yourself, because you may never get any more. That's all we got, but we want you to take it and go. So that's the kind of people they were. And he did, of course. He went back and enjoyed his trip. And then later on, of course, they made plenty more money.
Do you think the failure, principally because of the forces of nature, but the failure of Mr. Flagler's railroad to maintain the route between Miami and Key West affected him seriously?
Affected Mr.
Flagler?
Well, you see, Mr. Flagler was living when the railroad was built to Key West.
I know that.
And he went in on the first train.
Yes.
And when he passed away, well, of course, the railroad was in operation to Key West.
I see. It wasn't. He was not alive when the hurricane began.
Oh, no. No. Mr. Flagler died, I think it was in 1913. I believe it was.
Well, there are two schools of thought on him. I have heard a great many people who consider him, like yourself, to be a great benefactor. And then there are a number of people I've talked to at various times who, especially up in the Stewart Indian River country, who damn him slightly more than a little for what they consider to be the failure of the pineapple business because of his
Cuban situation.
Yeah.
No, I don't agree with that at all. I know one thing. The Model Land Company, which was one of the Flagler subsidiaries, it was a part of the Flagler system, owned a great deal of land. Mr. Flagler was definitely interested in agriculture. And he would finance people if they wanted to raise winter vegetables or tomatoes or anything of the kind and didn't have the finances. Mr. Flagler would finance that particular man while he put in his crop and all. And I know that one year, I don't remember, I was too small to remember, but had an awful freeze. Most all those winter vegetable growers lost their crops and they were destitute. And Mr. Flagler started a car, one of his cars on his railroad, and he put a certain sum of money in it. And one of his officials, and he told him just go right down the line all the way to Homestead. That's where the railroad terminated in those days. And wherever you find a family that is worthy and they want to replant, well, you just tell them, okay, you furnish them the money to buy their groceries and finance them until they bring in another crop. What about security? Well, you just get their name, and if they want to sign a note, that's all right. And the story goes that money was distributed, and that every dollar of it was paid back. The next crop was a huge success. Tomatoes brought big prices, and they paid back every dime of the money.
Now we've talked a good deal about Mr. Flagler and very little about Mr. Owens. And we got to get over onto you. You may not realize it, but you have engendered the loyalty of a great many people in this area. Everybody says, Jimmy Owens, Jimmy Owens, Jimmy Owens. What have you done to these people? Huh?
Well, I tell you, the people of this county were awfully good to me.
Where did you start? When you got out you went to school here, of course.
Yes, sir. Graduated from high school here and then went to Stetson University.
Oh.
But I never graduated at Stetson. I had to come home and I went to work. And the first job I had was a grocery store. I used to sell groceries. And then there were two men, Bob Creech and Bill Pope, and myself, put up a little grocery store of our own. 3 of us. We operated that for a while, and
groceries delivered by bicycle in those
bicycle,
days.
Yeah, that's right, sir.
half
That's
a
right.
barrel of flour on a bike is quite a load.
That I can put a barrel on there and ride off with it today.
Mr. James Owens, Part 2.
We had two big baskets on the front. In the mornings, we'd go around and take orders, and then in the afternoons, we'd deliver those groceries. Well, then later on, I was associated with G.G. Strom and Company. And then when the county was created in 1909, my father was appointed tax assessor of the county. And I went to, his health was not too good, and in the first day of January 1916, I went to work for him.
Is this Dade County or Palm Beach County?
Palm Beach
Palm Beach
then.
County.
See, this county was created in 1909.
Mhm.
I only worked a short while in 1916, and the First World War come on. And I didn't want to be drafted, you know. I didn't want to sign and be drafted. So I went down to Key West. I got a leave of absence and went down there and joined the Navy. And I was then sent to school at Annapolis, Maryland. I graduated there. And then from there, I went out on a battleship. And when the war was over, I was a junior lieutenant in the regular Navy. Came home, got my job back, and ran for the office of assessor, and retired in 1959.
Was did the populace complain about taxes in those days like they do now?
Well, they didn't complain as much then as they do now. And there was a reason for that. Taxes were not as high then as they are now.
Tell me about Indian Town. Is this something recent with you, or have you been doing...
No, sir, this place that I own at Indian Town, originally, well, before, way back, it was owned by somebody else. But a good many years ago, it was owned by Claude Reese's grandfather, Captain Dimmy, Mrs. Enos's father. It's a beautiful place. It's down in a hammock, big oak trees, and a lovely orange grove on it.
How would anybody get into Indian Town from here? I mean, how would they
Go-
know about it?
Go to 45th Street, go...
I mean, if they were living here in the early days, how would they learn about Indian Town?
Well, they wouldn't know much about it unless they were pioneers. That land out there is excellent land, citrus land. And there's thousands of acres being developed now in citrus, Minute Maid and all.
It's going to be one of the biggest?
It's going to be one of the biggest citrus producing areas in the whole state of Florida, or in the whole United States, right in that Martin County area.
Just when they thought there wasn't any other land that would take citrus.
That's right. And it's enormous development going on, and we've had a lady, Mrs. Famel, came there, and she's became interested in it, and she's built a marina on the canal. She's built a sewage plant, water disposal system, and a shopping center, established a bank. She's done a great deal for the community, and I think that Indian Town has a great future.
Of course, this is the second time around for Indian Town. There was a time when the head of the
Warfield.
railroad.
That's right. Warfield came.
Yeah, he was something for it.
That's
But
right.
he died before he could get it underway.
That's right. He did. Passed away, but some of his properties that the hotel, for instance, Seminole Inn, Warfield built that. It's still in operation.
And Mrs. Flamel has finally put in a decent telephone system.
Yes, sir. Excellent. Excellent.
No, it's an amazing town. You wouldn't think, the uninitiated looking at it wouldn't think it was going to go anywhere ever,
No,
you know?
That's right.
Do you think the cattle business will be wiped out?
Well, some of the cattle business will, with this enormous citrus development, it's bound to. And another thing that, the Bessemer Investment Company, the Phipps people, are interested in that area.
Sure.
And they have a training track, horse track.
I wouldn't be surprised to find it be a racing plant one of these days.
They've got one of the most beautiful race tracks now.
Yes, but I mean a regular,
Oh, regular
type.
Well, of course, they'd have to get a permit and maybe run 3 days a week or something. take.
I don't think they planted those roses just for luck.
I know.
I think that whole thing is they're hoping, and if they can get an interchange off of the Sunshine on that Indian Town Road, they'll be in business. The Beeline hasn't hurt them a bit from here.
Well, I tell you, the Phipps people, my work over there in Palm Beach and all, I know them pretty well. And they're a mighty fine family. They're developers. They go to Port Miaka, for instance, and you'll see their development there. And Michael Phipps now is developing this training track out there, and also citrus. Wherever they go, they're willing to lay it on the line, and they're great developers. And I look for a great future in that racetrack, just like you say.
I think it's one of these times they're going to have a road from Indian Town along the north side of the St. Lucie Canal too.
That's right. You will. You will. All of that's going to come. More and more people. You'd be surprised. There isn't a week that goes by but what people from, up in Lake County, Eustis, Tavares, Leesburg area, and Orlando, and in there, all coming down investigating holdings around Indian property, citrus land. And the reason for that is because I tell you, it takes a good deal to plant a grove and develop it and bring it up into bearing and then sit there and watch it froze down. And they've been having some mighty cold winters, and people are beginning to realize that the citrus business, to prevail, you got to get a little warmer climate than where they've been trying to raise them.
Of course, the first industry in Indian Town was the cattle, wasn't it?
Was cattle, yes.
When Marzell and those people came.
That's right. The Platts, and they were the original cattle people.
And there's still some vegetable
Oh, yeah.
in there.
Still some cattle there now.
Okay, sir, I know you've got to go. It's awfully nice to talk
Mr.
to you.
Hughes, it was nice to be here. When I get reminiscing about the early days and all in Palm Beach, I never know where to start.
Well,
Well, Judge Knott, glad to see you, sir.
Glad to see you.